you have to what? You're good.
Hello and welcome. I'm Jennifer Romano, the Executive Director of the Whitley County Chamber of Commerce and Visitors Center, and I'm pleased to welcome all of you here today. We have a lot to be proud of and grateful for in this community. Our beautiful community is filled with thriving businesses and dedicated nonprofits that make it a wonderful place to live and to do business. We can be proud of this beautiful library that's hosting us today, and grateful for the support of our sponsors, United Consulting and NIPSCO. Appreciative to member Jill Daniel for preparing our lunch today. Grateful for the many hands in the Parks Department and County Work Release who helped in setting up this morning. And thankful to each of you in attendance today. Looking around the room, I see the faces of many who put the goals of excellence into everything that they accomplish each day. From our city streets, to our parks, to our utilities, and to our infrastructure. Each providing a necessary part of what must be done for Columbia City to be great. And to all of you, I say thank you. Thank you also to the City of Columbia City for being a valued partner with the Chamber in meeting our objectives and helping the Chamber to be the advocate, the resource, and the champion this community needs. Like many of you, I'm looking forward to hearing what Columbia City Mayor Ryan Daniel has to say and learning more about the vision, goals, and objectives that he, City Council, and the city departments have in store for 2018. Because truly, a vibrant, growing, and thriving city is key for all of us, businesses and nonprofits, in order to be successful in reaching our own goals. We present the State of the City Luncheon each year because in big and small ways, everyone in this room is in partnership with the city. When the City of Columbia City wins, we all win. So join me in welcoming Columbia City Mayor Ryan Daniel.
Hello everybody. I can say good afternoon now, I guess. So good afternoon. Glad to have everyone here. I want to make a couple of points real quick before I get started with my speech. Appreciate everybody taking an interest in what's happening in the city. We do act as the catalyst for a lot of things, but we're also a partner in a lot of things as well, and I hope that I can touch on a lot of those things today. The other piece I want to point out is this lovely tie. I don't know if you see this tie before, but this actually is the tie of my grandfather who passed away this year, and so I'm doing that kind of in honor of him. So with that, I'll go ahead and get started. Council members, business representatives, constituents, and friends, I appreciate the opportunity to update you on the state of our city. Thank you to the Chamber for hosting this great event each year. Now you may not know it, but this speech is actually a requirement of me as mayor per Indiana Code 36-4-5-3.2. Now statute requires me to give a statement to the City Council on the finances and general condition of the city at least once a year. I'm thankful that I have a City Council who is actively engaged in the operations of the city and that little, if any, of this speech will come as a surprise to them. Now let's dive in. After reviewing the past year's efforts and what lies ahead of us for 2018, it was really challenging to cover everything, but I'll do my best. I think it's most appropriate to lay out these past successes and future plans by focusing on what I consider to be the city's 5 big goals. These goals are critical for our community's future success. They include reaching a population of 10,000 by 2020, continuing to be ranked in the top 25 safest communities in Indiana, improving and investing in quality of life amenities, retaining and attracting talent, and maintaining a strong and stable community. The first goal is the most challenging of them all, and that's the first big goal of reaching a population of 10,000 by 2020. Now, in a time where Midwestern population growth has been at a net neutral, or even a net negative, we look to set a higher standard. Now keep in mind that more residents equal more business growth, additional housing choices, and more spreading out of utility costs and taxes. Now, this is not necessarily a goal based on the wants of the city, but really on the wants of our residents. When residents want more restaurants and shopping options, population growth is the answer. When residents want utility rate stabilization, and population growth is the answer. And when residents want additional internet service providers, guess what? Population growth is the answer. Now, make no mistake, the market is a determining factor on all of these issues. And with a population below 10,000, the market doesn't justify the need to build or expand into Columbia City for these companies, restaurants and service providers as well. Now, this is why it's critical we find ways to grow our population and expand our market. Housing fits into this big goal for numerous reasons, not the least of these to be that you have to have a place for someone to live in order for them to be a part of the city, right? Man, housing boom has really been happening in Columbia City. Quail Ridge Apartments are at capacity after opening in the beginning of 2017. They're considering adding a new building to their current development as well as starting phase 2 this year. The ribbon was cut on the historic Bluebell Lofts in May of 2017. This creative reuse of the Bluebell Jeans factory is in the central part of Columbia City. Not only beautifies the neighborhood, but is now providing 52 apartments for seniors in our community. Houses continue to be built in the Cambridge Crossing, Brennan's Addition, Deer Chase, Lincoln Estates, Eagle Glen, and Oakdale Ridge subdivisions, providing different homes throughout the economic spectrum. And just last week, we were notified about 2 additional housing programs and developments that are going to begin this year in Columbia City. The first project is a collaboration between the city's Redevelopment Commission, Biggs Development, and Scan Inc. The Van Buren Flats, which I did talk about last year, it's actually going to happen this year, apartment complex, which will be built on the corner of Van Buren Street and North Line Street, on the Old Eagles Lodge property, will add 25 single-family units to our downtown. Now, this public-private partnership was awarded tax credits from the Indiana Housing and Community Development Authority and will add to the foot traffic and commerce in our downtown. The second newly announced tax credit project is identified as workforce housing, which will build 22 new single-family homes off of Hannah Street in the Ravenwood subdivision. This project is also being completed by Biggs Development. Now, in the past 2 years alone, we've seen almost 80 new single-family dwellings built in Columbia City. That doesn't include the 170-plus apartment units that are now being occupied in our city. The boom of housing in Columbia City is a welcome addition to our community that went throughout really the early 2010s with very few construction projects and really a tightened housing market. I'm often asked the question, now, where are these residents coming from? Well, my answer is basically from all over. So we've been taking intake forms. When people come in to sign up for new utilities, we get some information of where a lot of these residents are from. We have new residents from nearby locations like Warsaw and Albion and Wabash, and a lot from Fort Wayne. We have new residents from surrounding states of Illinois and Missouri, Ohio, Pennsylvania. We also have new residents from places like Pueblo, Colorado, and Haverhill, Massachusetts, and Oak Harbor, Washington, and of course, Guaynabo, Puerto Rico. Now, our community is welcoming residents from every corner of the United States, and I'm so proud of the efforts of so many in our community to welcome these new residents, showing them our hospitality, friendship, and love of neighbor. But it's not just new housing stock that we're focusing on, however. The Columbia City Housing Authority is now in its 3rd year of offering the owner-occupied rehabilitation program for homeowners. This 90-10 loan program is focused on making sure low to moderate income families in Columbia City are living in safe, sanitary, and secure housing. Currently, the CCHA is working on a couple additional programs to aid homeowners in beautifying their home while also improving their neighborhoods. Also happening later this year, the city will roll out the Neighborhood Beautification Grant Program. This program will incentivize neighbors to work together on projects that improve their neighborhood. Now, whether it's flower boxes or new sidewalks or trees or signage, this public-private partnership will make an impact on the aesthetics of our community. The second big goal is to continue being ranked in the top 25 safest communities in Indiana. This is as much a quality of life issue as it is anything else. Columbia City is known to be safe and friendly and welcoming. However, We also have the reputation established throughout Northeast Indiana as a place where drug dealers don't want to get caught. That's because of the strong sentences given to their crime. Now, we're a place where even petty crimes are dealt with rather than being brushed off as in bigger cities. We're a place in which Neighborhood Watch encompasses all of our residents because we look out for each other. We're even known to have, quote, too many police officers, end quote. Now, I'm sure that Chief Hively wouldn't necessarily agree with that, and neither do I. Know that it's critically important that we maintain a successful police presence throughout our community, patrolling every neighborhood and every street that passes through our city. In 2017, we introduced Cass, our first canine in several years, to our department and the community. Canine Officer Archbold and Canine Cass have made a tremendous impact on our community, helping to seize thousands of dollars in drugs and numerous arrests. In just 8.5 months, that's all she's been out. Cass is a she, by the way, if you didn't know. Canine Cass has been deployed over 160 times in 8.5 months. With no other canine units permanently in Whitley County, we believe it's the right time to secure another canine for the CCPD. This past Tuesday, the Board of Works gave the go-ahead to Chief Hively to work toward the acquiring of a second canine unit. The best part of this program has certainly been the outpouring of support from our community. Businesses and residents alike have stepped up to the plate to help fund this program into the future. In fact, you have all been so generous that very few public tax dollars will be used for the purchase and the training